Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by patrons like Aga Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, and Sotosan0424. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies. And it will help us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you. You're getting good at that.
Yeah, I am. And fucking rejoice, everybody. It's time. It's here. Hi. This is Let's Talk FGO. I'm one of your hosts, Hype Omega. With me, as always, is also Hype Lucky. It's a hype day.
Everyone, I hope you are enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Sakura News at Sakuracon, Keck. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should not get caught by security.
We'll explain that one a little bit later. So hey, general update. I announced this on our social media, but maybe you didn't know. Because, I don't know, maybe you guys aren't part of our integral cross-media promotion. What the fuck is wrong with you? Hold on, was that within 30 seconds? No, 50 seconds. We're fine.
I don't know.
YouTube won't get mad. But we delayed the recording because Lucky asked me yesterday, do we have anything to talk about? And I was like, no, I mean, I gotta write my Teach Me Omega Sensei notes, but otherwise, no. And then we were reminded, oh yeah, the panel's tomorrow, so we'll wait until after the panel. At the very least, we'll throw out the actual CCC announcement date. And then, yeah, well, we got a lot of news, which is this week's pro tip. I'm not even gonna do the MASH intro. The pro tip is, all the pro tips are about to change because we're in for a whole new life. Oh, we have an actual the news article, but new functionality. So this will be all the other stuff. Drag, set that. Ooh, that's good. There's a lot of good stuff. Okay, we're gonna have to go through all this list.
Oh,
that's okay. I'm just double checking some stuff. All right. So we'll run through all that because we have an actual update news. But real quick, we're gonna check in with the records from the throne. I don't think we've accomplished much of anything other than lots and lots of grinding. All I have managed to do in this week is get Emiya to max level.
Okay, so, mine really isn't so much, but I have been working on my hecking, interludes and, grinding a bit, but nothing to actually, write home about.
Yeah, we're all just working. Also, no, guys, do not start, Bohemian Rhapsody in chat. Don't do it. You're not allowed yet.
What?
So yeah, this episode is live to the public. I decided to do it as a special. I talked with Lucky about it. We're 10 steps short of 1800. I'm like, no, this is the most important time to get all the public in and let them chat back and forth with us and fire off their responses, because this is big news, as they say. And we've got some shit to fire in.
I got shit to fire in for a different reason. God.
Oh, I mean, well, have you read my final bullet point?
Actually, hang on. Let me double check this.
I've got some stuff. Some thoughts and things. So, maybe I'm going to add a curse word in there. Hold on. That's appropriately emphasized. But, yeah, let's just jump into the fucking news. So, as we said, there was a localization panel at Sakuracon.
My local con.
Yeah, sadly, Lucky did not go, but we'll talk about that in a second. And most of this information was pulled from a stream by a Twitch user named Ken Dondor, who was, it is reported, caught by security and forced to turn off his stream halfway through. But we value your sacrifice in the meantime.
That's a big rip, dude. Everyone press F for to pay your respects.
And I know some people were also watching it because Shotgun Shogun cross-streamed it. He rehosted the stream without indicating whose stream he was rehosting, and only posting about it if you asked in a YouTube chat. That's a real professional to steal somebody else's stream.
Yeah. I've seen a little bit of their work, and, I never really cared about it, because, unfortunately, Lucky's not a person who goes around out and about in the community a lot.
I think we've said this before. It's, because we do our own show, it's really hard to get into other people's content, because, why would I watch somebody else do a servant guide? Because I had to write those notes, 2 days ago myself. It's not an offense to those people, it's just, we don't have to inform ourselves, we're already doing that fucking research.
Content I watch is usually when it's, comedic, or, or memeing, or stuff like that. But, so, I never heard of this guy, and everyone's just everyone was just like, oh yeah, here, just throw up the link, and this guy just non-stop talking trash. I was like, dude, what? Like, literally, I was typing in chat, is there any way where I can just mute him? And then someone just threw up the actual,
it was me. I went through the trouble of, I saw him post it in his YouTube chat, and I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna take the raw Twitch. The raw Twitch sucked too, because the streamer had, like, he was on mobile, so it had, like, the stream chat overlaid, which was...
And the chat was pretty toxic.
Pretty god-awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, people are talking about
people are a little upset at Shotgun Shogun already in our chat, so it's not surprising.
Yeah, we do like a lot of streamers out there, like Omega specifically, like typed out Pheno Plays, Chateya Gurus, and of course our boy Voice of Saint Courts, who's over in Anime Boston right now.
Yeah, he's in Anime Boston. He had his panel today.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we were to build a friendly network of people we like and wouldn't mind hanging out with, I think that's our short list. Quartz, Kalia Gurus, Pheno. We have another couple of people who we like follow on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, but because basically as the panel started out, Albert came on. He's talking, he's cracking jokes, and he started relaying all the information that has been led up to this.
Yeah, so the initial note was, while I was listening, is he asked everybody how their gacha luck was. Everybody kind of hemmed and hawed. Some people were positive, some people were negative. He was like, so about the same. As always, accurate. Good boy, Albert. And then he says, all right, well, everybody, you're here. You will receive the blessings of Gurako. Raise your hand. So he blessed everybody. And then he got into probably a good 10, 15 minutes of just... Okay, so we're doing the CCC pre-release campaign right now. Here's some stuff you should know about it in case you didn't read our news articles.
Yeah, and because here's the thing. Not everybody reads the news articles. Not everyone, wikis every single fucking detail of it. Not everybody uses Clairvoyance EX to make sure they are 10 steps ahead of the fucking game. So a panel taking 15 minutes to make sure that everyone is on the same fucking page is nothing wrong.
Also, hey, BT Dubs, have you never watched a fucking JP panel? They have a corner deliberately to waste time. They will, well, I mean, depending on how into it you are, you're wasting time, but it's still not FGO related because the fucking voice actors talk about their life and what food they ate since they got to whatever city the panel is on and whatever. So, it's not like this is anything new. At the very least, this is on topic. Albert is here to talk about FGO. Hey, BT Dubs, this is the campaign we're running right now, and we're going through all this stuff. And, hey, it might be a big deal that you actually complete the story and are able to participate in this event for reasons.
Because here's something I have to say. Some people are stupid. Some people, things just don't click. Sometimes you have to tell them several fucking times before it gets through their head. And so, yeah, I can understand, them saying, all right, we're going to tell you this several times, just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Okay? And this is the thing, because I remember one of the specific things that Shotgun Shogun is they should have just shown my video. I'm just like, it was literally at that point I was like, all right, I'm done with this guy.
Yeah, okay, so that's the thing. Well, fuck it. I mean, I don't like a lot of his opinions he's expressed either. So I'm not afraid to fire him with some shade either. I'll start some beef. Sure, he's probably more huge than us, but we can call it like we sees it. And I know that Voice has had a rocky relationship with him in the past, so it's not like he's sunshine and roses with every FGO YouTuber. I feel like he has, so we've said this before, I think, that we don't necessarily mind if you're doing a hustle, right?
Yeah.
We aren't against your work ethic. But at a couple of points, Shotgun Shogun has clearly been trying to work his hustle, and he is trying to work an official angle with FGO to, get an official hookup and get more promotion so his videos get out there more. And, to call out, oh, well, you should just use my video. That's shitty. Okay, we'll say it right here. Albert, hey, if you're listening, if you could come on the show, we'd fucking love that. At the same time, we totally understand if you could not come onto our show, because you're not allowed to do this sorts of things, because that's...
No, well,
that's
actually,
how...
no, he is, because here's a crazy thing. Last year when I tell everybody about this, last year when I went to Sakuracon, when we were hanging out at the fucking cosplayer booth, Albert actually sat down and did a honest-to-God interview with somebody. Like, so, yeah, he's able to do those interviews. The guy
and I've heard at other conventions, people have been at them and they've gone onto Reddit and they've done, like, blow-by-blow reporting. They have very politely, jotted down everybody's questions. And I think at some point somebody actually transcribed it. They asked Albert if they could record it, not video record it, but audio record it, and transcribed it after. So, like, they're open to certain amounts of stuff. It's just, like, you don't have to be a dick, dude.
Yeah.
Rule 0 of our Discord, don't be a dick.
And, like, as I said, like, just him, just the way he was talking, and the chat in general is just, like, Lucky doesn't like drama. I really, really don't like drama. So anytime anyone starts getting, like, a negative emotion, I'm just like, get that shit away from me. It bends my eyes, get thee hence.
Yeah, I think we basically have both said that we're drama averse. On a professional level, though, hey, if you're trying to be serious about these hookups and stuff, then be professional, dude.
Like, it's one of those things that's all, like, courtesy and, like, this is what I tell people. Not everyone deserves your respect, but everyone deserves your courtesy. Like, respect is something that earned, but courtey is something that can be given freely and should.
I think my mother had the best way to phrase this when trying to teach me basic manners, which I have kept through my life. It costs you nothing to be polite.
Yeah.
So, even if the other people aren't being polite to you, it doesn't cost you anything to be polite to them. To just show them a little reference. And hey, guess what? If you're in a fucking business context, it really helps, because we're talking about the people you need to persuade is not poor Albert with his beanie cap, cracking his jokes about all he needs is your money and your salt, and he's like, no, I take that back. We'll take your love too, because Albert's a stand-up guy like that. But it's dudes in suits in Japan, which is a very polite-facing society. So, like, don't be an asshole.
Yeah. So as I said, like, we started watching, and as I said, like, I just can't do it. If this guy wants to, like, if this guy, like, hears this and, wants to throw down internet beef, I'm not even gonna fucking deal with it. I'm just gonna ignore it, because this guy is literally not worth time anymore.
No. That's fair. Like, we both immediately jumped to the other, and like I said, the fact that he had Twitch stream overlay, Twitch chat's a real pain in the ass unless it's moderated, so whatever. But, like, I mean, his framing was good otherwise. He was actually pretty decent at trying to get everything on camera. That's probably why he got caught, was because he was adjusting his fucking camera angle. But there was a special Noriko Shitaya, I think I spelled that right, I didn't double check it, video, voice actress of Sakura and BB.
Super cute.
It was adorable. She mostly just was like, she was super excited that we're getting the CCC event, which the Japanese pronounce with a shi sound. And that she was glad that there's a lot of fan anticipation for that, because obviously she was here for FGO USA Tour, so people with their clairvoyance are acting in excess of what Albert is allowed to say. But, and she hopes we'll enjoy the event, basically. It was really cute. Albert doubled down on the fact that he thinks that Sakuracon is an important event to FGO because they announced it there. Last year they had Rumi Okubo there. This year, they had a big fucking series of announcements and a special video. So, like, I think he reinforced that they think that Sakuracon is a big deal. And I know some people are still like, but then why didn't they stream it? And also it's come out, I believe, that they skipped Q&A section, which is not unheard of. There have been several events where Albert didn't do a Q&A, or he did Q&A as a separate panel, basically. Mm-hmm. But they did a quiz instead, so some people were like, oh, gee, it's like they won't even talk to us. I'll say this, okay, guys? Having watched the chat and watched the Reddit comments on this, why the fuck would they want to speak with you? I'm staring into the camera. I'm jimming it real hard right now, guys. There's no camera, but I'm staring at it. Just picture my robot face staring at you. Because, like, okay, I get people are really salty and, like, you want more open amounts of communication, but when you get that communication, what do? You yell about dumb shit, you insult them, you demand stuff like you're entitled to it. And not everybody does this, obviously, but I'm talking about the kind of people who are being salty about this are the same kind of people who are expressing their salty opinions, and it's like, why the fuck would they want to talk to you? Why would they want an open channel of communication? We already know they read all the quite frankly, really nasty shit people post on Reddit and Twitter. We know know that exists already. Why would they allow you to do that in an official capacity?
like just reading the Twitch chat, like everyone was referring to Sakura as a warm slut. They would not get off about fucking the censorship of or the art change of Bemia. They were screaming for chords, and for some odd reason, people kept screaming spoilers for JoJo. Like,
yeah, I don't know. That was some kind of trolling thing. It's really weird. Yeah, it's
really
like
weird.
And because obviously Shotgun Shogun was linking to that guy, sort of. So, duh, he was getting a huge influx, but still, it's like, why would Albert, who is just a dude who is probably a little bit understaffed and has a lot of shit to do in his life, why would Albert want you guys to yell about that stuff? And B, why the fuck would Aniplex want you to be able to yell about that stuff? Either JP or US. No. They're like, we know you guys think this. We don't want to give you a platform to say it out loud. So
yeah,
it's like
everyone
man.
who avoided seeing that chat, consider yourself blessed.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the stream. I was listening to it. And when a new slide showed up, I'd tune over and I'd just focus on the video screen as opposed to the comments. People at the panel laughed when Albert said that BB was the only moon cancer, and he was like, and somebody was like, lies, and he's like, it's not untrue.
It's not. And
so I want to segue from this bullet point to be like, listen, guys, Albert's only allowed to say certain stuff. He's at a fucking panel. He's officially employed. He's under employment. He might be under contract terms. He can only say what he can say. Okay. He can't admit that in a year from now, year and a half, there'll be a second BB that's the summer version, who is the other moon cancer you can get. Nor if they reveal a secret extra double moon cancer for a Lost Belt 4, could he talk about that 2 years in advance. He's not allowed. Video games is a NDA heavily layered business, and Japan's also pretty big about their, front-facing and control of the message. So yeah, Albert can only say what he can say. That may also be why they skipped Q&A, because they knew there'd be a lot of dumb questions which are like, I can't tell you, that's JP's decision. Why didn't we get the April Fool's app? Listen, I don't fucking know. They made the app. I don't control the reprogramming of the April Fool's app. Don't talk to me. And we also confirmed the spelling is Meltrillis. They showed her NP video and her stat screen, so it's Meltrillis, everybody. Not Meltlilith, Meltrillis. Or possibly Meltrillis?
I'm fine either way.
I think Albert said Meltrillis, so I'm okay with that because that's easier for me to say. Hey, guess what's really easy to say? Melt. I feel like I should have said that slower and possibly more French. Omelette du fromage. After that, the stream cut out, so we had to switch to photo evidence. And we did get picture confirmation of a couple things. First off, picture confirmation. CCC event begins 4:23. I think somebody posted the official start time before. It's like 4 a.m. PST. I think we got like a 7 or 8 hour maintenance.
Yeah, it's gonna be long.
It's a fucking long maintenance, and we'll see why in a second, because there's gonna be a huge fucking client update. I hope the file size isn't too big. I just was able to port Girls Frontline onto my new phone because it got smaller. Oh well. Though I will say, hey, heads up, before I cover any of the news, I have double-checked the news article. There is, I don't think, any updates to the system requirements.
Nice.
So if you're running FGO now, it's probably okay. I mean, you're better with more, but like they haven't announced that their system requirements are changing or anything. So that was confirmed. So that'll be... So it won't properly start until like... Well, yeah, it'll be the 23rd. It'll be well into Tuesday before it starts. So, actually, shit, does that mean I have to... I think that means that Sunday I have to record Wanted, so it can be out in enough time. We'll see. I might have to do that before we record What's Up tomorrow.
Heck.
That's alright, I just need to build the graphics package. But, yes, Wanted Melt is coming. It'll be out sometime about when the event starts. Just, time crunch.
Crunch!
Let's see, what else? Okay. So, combined at the time we got image sources, but by now the official news article has come out. So, we're getting an update on 4:23. This is the things that will go live.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a huge list of new functionality that has been confirmed. Number 1, the back button.
Ah!
In case you couldn't tell from the episode title, which is literally just going to be back button now. So yes, there is a new button. A new button. Press button, get weapon. Listen,
Okay,
we're going to do a lot of talking. I should really let Lucky do some of this, because I got to read Teach Me Omega Sensei, but I'm looking at the news article, so...
I'm looking at it too now. You want me to read?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Alright, so number 1, we're having an update to the battle screen, making it possible to return to the tactical phase from the command phase. AKA, basically from the point where you push attack and all your cards come up, you'll be able to return back to your main screen from that. This is the illustrious, the infamous, the almighty back button. With this change, the critical star distribution will first be displayed during the tactical phase instead of the command phase. So you'll basically be able to see what cards are going to get which crit stars before you even push the attack button. The critical star distribution will not change upon returning to the tactical phase from the command phase. However, when skills that increase crit stars or master skills like order change or command shuffle that affect the distribution of stars and whatnot, the stars will be then redistributed once more. Here's a couple other extra notes they put here. If you've already accumulated more than 50 crit stars, the number left over after distribution will be displayed in gray. Please note that these stars will not carry over to the next turn. When a skill that grants critical crit stars are used, newly gained stars will be distributed on top of the already distributed crit stars. And when a skill that consumes critical stars is used, stars will be consumed first from any excess, then from the stars distributed to command cards.
This is a huge deal, which people have been clamoring for a long time, and it is going to be a phenomenal update. Because there's so much information this gives you.
So, number 2, they're adding a drag and select function added to certain screens within the formation, enhancement, and shop. Basically, on certain screens within the formation, enhancement, and shop screens, this function will allow you to hold, I can English, and drag to rapidly select multiple servants or craft essences at once. Holding and dragging on the selected spirit origins will deselect them. Servants that are already included in the party will not be drag selectable, and locked and selected servants and craft essences will not be drag selectable on screens other than in the second archive.
Yeah, so this is another phenomenal one. I've just been thinking about this with all the leveling up we can do, like, being able to just drag over those fucking embers.
Yeah, instead of having to, like, tap my phone for every single freaking one.
Literally 20 times? Yeah.
Yeah. So, this function will be available on the following screen. For craft essence enhancement, you'll be able to grab up to 20. For servant enhancement, up to 20. For burning, aka selling, a maximum of 99. And for your second archive, also a maximum of 99.
Ooh, that's really good for that second archive, too.
Mm-hmm. So, number 3 is automatic burning, conversion to mana prisms or QP, which is now going to be added to the friend point summoning. Basically, you'll be able to choose automatic burning settings for EXP cards, foes, and craft essences that drop from the friend points gacha. The categories selected will automatically be converted to mana prisms or QP with the amount gained displayed in the summoning results screen. Servants will not be eligible for automatic burning. If you have a maximum amount of mana prisms or QP, a dialog box will appear before summoning asking you to consume either mana prisms or QP. Please note that this function will be implemented with all categories unselected.
Yeah, so you'll have to manually switch all these stuff.
Yeah.
But still, and the graphic is like, so you can pick basically, do you want to burn all 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars for EXPs, foes, or CEs? So, personally expect I'll probably do that for EXPs and maybe the low-level foes and CEs and leave like the 3 stars open.
Yeah, probably same. They will note that craft essences summoned for the first time will be recorded to your materials as usual, even if they are automatically burned. So, this is something to note that if you set up something to burn say 3-star CEs, and you just so happen to get one of those magical event-based 3-star CEs, it will still be burned.
Yes, that is the thing to note. Even if it's new, it'll still be burned, so watch the fuck out with your 3 stars.
Yeah. As I said, it'll still be recorded in your materials section, which is in your My Room. Basically, any craft essence or servant that you get or played with will be recorded there, but you will not actually have the physical copy, or digital copy. That's a weird thought. Anyway, let's see here. Number 4, craft essences selectable on the craft essence enhancement and burning update. With this update, craft essences equipped to a servant in a party or as a support will become usable as enhancements, materials, and available for burning or selling.
Golf clap. I fucking love this. I've been wanting this one for a while. It's such a pain in the ass when you're getting rid of event CEs, and it's like, oh my god, I have to unequip it from literally everywhere before I can get rid of these.
Yeah, basically before the update, all craft essences were grayed out and unselectable until removed from all parties and support formations. After the update, though, currently equipped craft essences will have an icon and displayed indicating their status. They will not be grayed out and will be usable for burning or enhancements. Locked or selected craft essences will not be affected by this update. So if you have locked it, you still will not be able to touch it. Again, though, this is one of those things to go, everyone be careful, double check that what you're burning or you're combining is what you want to combine.
Very important. I freak out about this all the time.
So, because there's been plenty of times when I'm like, all right, I don't want to actually combine these yet because, as I said, a lot of ones get rerun, and sometimes it's better to leave them unbound. But once in a while, you just see like, oh yeah, I have all these copies. I need to put them together. Wait, no.
Yeah, you really don't want to fuck up your combining of old, especially if you get a rerun and you've got you combine 3 copies of an event CE into one, and then you get your 2 more. You really want to be careful about how you slap those together.
Yep.
But yeah, so let's see. Number 5?
Number 5 is links to interludes and rank-up quests added to the servant details. So now it's going to become more possible to move directly to each servant's interlude or rank-up quest with convenient links from the servant's detail pages.
This is a fairly recent update that JP got, by the way.
Yeah. Again, so basically this one's going to be a lot easier. Basically, you're going to go to the status or the profile or whatever. It's going to basically say move from this screen to rank up quest or interlude. You're just going to hit the button. You'll be like, boom, you're there. Of course, you're still going to have met all the requirements to have done it. Meaning either, max leveling, certain bond levels, or, certain levels of ascension. Number 6. Copy party, clear all, and reset name party functions added to party setup and party confirmation. The copy party function will now let you copy a party formation into another party slot. Select copy party from the menu at the bottom of the formation screen to basically copy formation. Please note that if a party is already set in the slot that you copy to, that party will be overwritten. This will be really good for helping you set up event teams. Because, as I said, usually you have your, event servants, but maybe you want to, switch out, some CEs or something, instead of having to, manually scroll over, manually put in every single servant and then every single CE. I was like, no, I'm just gonna move all these guys over, switch out 1 or 2, and boom, I'm done. Ready. Yes! It's go time. It's real simple. It's gonna be real good. Here's another nifty one. Number 7, Nana. The receive all filter function will be added to the present box. This function will allow you to choose the various categories of items to be received, displayed, or hidden within the present box. So basically, if you just want to leave all your embers in there forever and a day, as you use it as a secret storage, because you only got so many slots, now you can actually select it or deselect it so that they will not be picked up with the receive all. And you can pick up all your tickets, friend points, and quartz that you want.
That's good. I actually thought about that concern because I think was it Valent? It was some recent event where I was gathering shitloads of EXPs but not spending them right away, and it was like, but I still want to get all my summon tickets and quartz and other daily logins and shit.
Yeah, normally you have to do that manually, but
yeah, this is
not
now
anymore.
Filters,
more filters, more
user
automation.
interface. So these next two are pretty big because I remember I think were these earlier this year in JP. This was a pretty recent one.
It was either early this year or late last year, but it's pretty quick. So number 8, first noble phantasm use only normal speed option added. That's really wordy. Anyway, this function will basically display the noble phantasm of a servant you possess at normal speed the first time it's used, even if the battle speed is set to high. Please note that the first use will be counted beginning with the implementation of this function. So basically, this means that for basically the first time you're going to see an MP, you're going to see the full MP. It's not going to be an accelerator or not. Note, this can be turned off from game functions for people who need to get those extra 5 seconds in.
Also, hey, Lucky, is this a stealth update that it reveals that we're going to get the My Room Random? Because that's translated in English directly under that option. And I don't know if that's in this list anywhere.
I don't think so.
So
maybe something they're working up to.
Well, I don't know. We'll see if it's either added in this stealthily or that was just a mock-up or something. But it's in the image. If you're in the live chat, I will copy the image for you.
Let me see here.
Note directly under this button, set my room servant to random.
Oh.
Do we already have it? I don't know. I never saw it. I don't go in there. I haven't needed to adjust my options in forever.
All right.
Oh, we do already have it, people are saying. Okay, cool. So it's been there, it's just nobody talked about it. Well, that's also there.
Oh, yeah. So, servant-specific Noble Phantasm, this is number 9, by the way. Servant-specific Noble Phantasm speed options added. This option will allow you to set the speed of which an individual servant's Noble Phantasm is displayed. Toggles between these following settings within the servant details. Default, the average battle speed will be applied. Always normal, this servant's Noble Phantasm will always be displayed at normal speed, regardless of the overall speed setting, and always high. The servant's Noble Phantasm will always be displayed at high speed, regardless of the overall speed setting.
So this is perfect for all you farmers out there who have, like, the same 3 servants who do their NP over and over again, much like the picture to Rash. And so if you want to keep normal NP speed so you can hear all the music and the lines and they don't get fucked up, you can keep your speed on default, and then for your farmers or whatever, you can set them to be always high, so you can power through.
So, we have now left the numbers, and we're just going into some more general stuff. Improvements to the UI. So, new Saint Graph backgrounds for most 1-star and 2-star servants. With some exceptions, rarity 1-star and 2-star servants will receive updated background graphics for their Saint Graphs. I'll read out the full list here. We have Arash, Benkei, Teach, George, Mozart, Shakespeare, Hans, Kojiro, Matahari, Sanson, Hassan of the Cursed Arm, Phantom of the Opera, Asterios, Spartacus, Eric Bloodaxe, and Caligula.
Yeah, basically all the one. I don't know who's not included.
Yeah, actually, like anyone who's not. No, Teach is in there.
I'm looking right at him. He's right there. Lucky just cut out a little bit when he said that. But you confirm. Teach. Hans is also there.
Hans is in there too.
I'm looking at the list, guys. Do you need me to fucking print screen?
People say they can't hear. I'm sorry for breaking up.
Okay. I will literally print the screen so y'all can see. Lucky said it, but I'm pretty sure Lucky said everybody who's on the list. Because he was going down there.
I'm trying to think, like, who's not on the list. Because they say, like, with a few exceptions.
Oh, bounce right back.
Well, I guess Angram Manyu's not in here, technically.
Yeah, he's a 0-star, but yeah, I don't know who they're referring to as some 1 to 2s. They're like, they're trying to be cagey, but
I'm mid battle. I can't actually pull up all my goddamn servants. Fuck.
Anyway, yeah. So this I think was the 3rd anniversary in JP. We also don't have Paul yet. Rama. But I think this was the 3rd year anniversary in JP that this turnover happened, so that's a good year in advance.
Mm-hmm. Booyah.
So yeah. No, we're getting lots of stuff that's recently added.
Go, my murder daughters.
Let's see. So, they've added even more buttons where you can use the icon display function.
Oh yeah. So basically, the icon display function has been added to new screens. The icon display size function, which allows you to display more servants or craft sets at a time, will be newly implemented to the screens listed. Basically, the formation screen, the party formation screen, servant formation screen, spirit origin list, second archive, and the spirit origin list. Basically, almost any screen where you have your list of servants or of CEs for like.
Also, by the way, audience, Chad is saying that the background update came with the release of the first Lost Belt, so basically when we started Part 2.
Ah, okay. Very well.
Which is closer to the 3rd anniversary, but still quite a bit far in advance.
Yeah. Number 3, we're getting the inventory display function added to the battle results screens.
Also, thank God. This is another recent one that's like fucking amazing.
So a new button will be added to the item drop screen displayed after a battle, which you can toggle to display the amount of item and display the amount of item in question you currently hold. So now you'll know exactly how many fucking bones you have after you get done with the battle, so you don't have to go look at your fucking inventory every single fucking time to know that you got enough to get that fucking skill up to the next level. Ugh!
And then the last one's pretty simple.
Yeah, this one's pretty simple. Previous quest icon implemented. An icon will be displayed on the quest board of the last quest you played. So basically, you can look and it's like, oh, that was the last one I did. Alrighty.
Which is handy. Not
It's
vital,
handy.
but handy. By the way, Lucky,
That's
don't
what
look now,
quality
but
of
there's
life
like
is.
there's a fucking rainbow of people in our recording chat right now. There's so many of you.
Did we break
Holy fuck.
25? I think I counted like 24 last time I actually counted.
We might have. It's hard to
Let me
count
see
all
here.
of them. There's so many.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Lucky's counting. So some people are saying that basically this is akin to the Lost Belt 1 quality of life update, which is like huge.
We're exactly at 25.
And there's also a lot of new stuff, like the held items is pretty new. So this is this is, I think, a kudos. I joked that Albert ran a desalination on our community. Like, some people are still upset about the lack of communication. They're like, oh, this was a really big news update. Why didn't you stream it? But at the same time, like, the news is still here, guys. Like, it's still a shitload of stuff well ahead of time. And it might actually be why they were kind of quiet for a while. That, like, they were working towards some really big updates. So it's pretty neat. And once again, to reiterate, I think we're already at the higher level system requirements, or this does not require an update. So there's no news about system requirements changing with this update. So if you're already running FGO, I would suggest that you will probably not have to adapt. And also, some people are saying like the news was posted on the app immediately after the panel. Definitely normal Dallas Rose in our chat, a robust and longtime member. He's blue. Is saying that doesn't fit the narrative that people are trying to spread. Exactly. Like people want to be sassy about how, that FGO NA is a redheaded stepchild. Nah, dude, we just got a shitload of quality of life updates. FGO is fucking amazing. It's really rad, dudes. So much. So we're going to move on to some more panel stuff. Number one, there's a full list of the stuff. So we're getting Saint Courts. There's going to be 5 Saint Courts for the panel, 10 Saint Courts for the social media service campaign, which we hit everything, so there's going to be other stuff in there too. So 15 total, and also 30 silver apples. Also, if this maintenance takes like 7 hours, that's 7 more quartz.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's finally those fucking apologems you people are asking for.
Yeah.
And so my final bullet point, as we're about 40 minutes into the show,
nice,
is that with the panel and everything, next year we're gonna make sure we budget it so that we can send an on-site reporter. Like, that'll be a business expense. We're 100% gonna do it. If we can, we'll send Lucky. We'll send him in a shirt. The whole deal.
Well, because I tell people, like, Sakuracon is literally my con. It's like, it's 45 minutes down the road. I don't even have to get a hotel. I literally just tell my friend, hey, drop me off at the convention center, and they'll be like, aight. They come pick me up, like, several hours later, and I come back.
And in fact, the only reason why you didn't go this year is because you were budgeting yourself for CCC.
Yeah.
But so, next year we're just gonna make it a fucking business expense. We'll put Lucky on site. We think that even if we can't necessarily post it, we're pretty sure we can do an audio recording of the panel, which we could reference.
I mean, if people want me to get fucking sneaky, I'll get fucking sneaky.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to get sneaky, because I really don't want you to get banned from Sakuracon and or future FGO localization panels, but...
Nah, I got plans already.
We'll ask about, hey, are we allowed to record audio? Because as far as I know, just double checking, Sakuracon is just like, you can only record video in certain panels. So if we can do audio, hopefully that would be okay, like even if we're not going to post it. The general consensus is that this is because this is what I said I added a cuss word to later. The quality of reporting on this from the community was fucking awful. Like, okay, say what you will. Like, okay, FGO didn't stream it. Well, maybe they weren't in a... I'm going to talk over Lucky coughing. Maybe they weren't in a room where they could stream it. Maybe they didn't have enough time to get it set up. They're planning for a fucking 7-hour maintenance and whatever. They got to get their ducks in a row. Like, this is something I said when somebody asked, like, are they going to stream it? I'm like, probably not, because it's the day of, and that's not some shit you decide and announce the day of. So they would have known if they could have streamed beforehand. So, like, say what you will about accessibility. Like, all this news came out officially anyway, like, right after the panel. It's just, this is like, so you can't see the panel reaction. And while I don't hold truck with it. I do know that there are some companies and some groups that do feel like, having an actual quote unquote live experience is a whole thing. Like, I don't necessarily follow that but some people at Aniplex might. Like that, well, these people are coming to a panel in person, they should get something quote unquote exclusive. Just like those merch at those FGO tour events. But yeah, the quality of reporting by the community is fucking atrocious. Like we said, restreaming people, not framing the chat on the overlay, not getting clear shots. Like we aim to improve that. So if possible, we're gonna put boots on the ground. If we can, we're gonna do audio recording. If not, fuck it. If we have the budget and I can, I'll fucking fly there with a notepad. I'll take notes with a pen and a paper if I have to. If we can, we'll take higher quality photos because it's really cool. And no offense to anybody snapping phone pictures, because obviously you're at a phone game panel. You brought your fucking phone. It's really great to get that on the spot reporting. On the other hand, goddamn, not all phone cameras have the same quality for taking those pictures of those slideshow panels. The this announcement, that announcement. Like, dude, just goddamn. Like, you want them to step it up, you step it up, and we aim to step it up here at Studio Omega. Like I said, we'll go there. We'll put on our fucking press hats. We'll take notes. I'll break out a fucking typewriter if I have to. It's just, this was. I am not disappointed in Aniplex at all for how they handled the panel. I am disappointed in other people for how they handled discussing the panel. Because as much as I'd love for them to stream stuff, like at the same time, like we said, that probably means they would insist on chat moderation, which means they have to have a person there to watch chat. Maybe they didn't have a person that day. We've talked before that Aniplex US is like really tiny. And Albert's job is localization producer, not community manager. So it's not his job to police us. So if they can't or won't bother to police us, I'll fucking police us, and we'll do this with proper amount of quality, and maybe then they'll step it up. Because goddamn, I don't know if I can do a really good Kermit voice. Hi ho, Omega the Frog here.
Yeah, Omega, go. I'm literally 45 minutes away, guys. Fuck. Jesus. You're getting them with your energy, Omega.
I am. I'm energetic about this. I'll give you a fucking notepad.
Now everyone's like, oh no, we love you too, Lucky. Saying that shit after the fact. I have to call y'all out.
How good of a typist are you, Lucky? Can I get you a laptop to take notes?
I'm pretty good at typing.
That's good.
I haven't actually taken
maybe we'll take notes that way.
I can't do a full transcribing job.
Well, I can't fully transcribe, but I have a pretty fast way of writing and typing. So I mean this is no offense to Lucky, but I know you didn't stay in college. I did, so I got a lot of experience taking notes on lectures. I spent 5 years doing that, so. Now they're talking about Lucky and sexy secretary glasses.
Why is that getting boner? Oh god, it's up to 4. 5.
Listen, Lucky, you established the boner rule.
No, it's going up! Stop!
This is your own fault. You reap what
this
you
is
sow.
My own fault. I hate to say it, but I think this is that is the highest amount of reactions any line has gotten.
Hold on, I have to favorite that GIF.
I'm gonna favorite that GIF too, because that is me now.
Yeah, this is. I'm so glad I decided to make this public. This is exactly the energy I was riding off when I was like, yes, this is good. Thank you all for coming on such short notice, by the way, guys. This is our energy to do more and be more. Yeah, so basically our conclusion is, well, the panel was okay. I like Albert. He's really trying his best. He's in that hamster, running that hamster wheel.
The hamster wheel's on fire.
And like we said, hey Albert, if you're listening to us, because we know that you watch community stuff sometime. If you're ever down to clown with an interview, we're open, and we won't be assholes to you. We promise. See, actually, that's the thing about, there's one thing to being openly critical, but if you're impolite, you don't necessarily incentivize people to talk to you. You can't be rude and demanding at the same time. That doesn't work.
Someone remind me in 6 months to reach out to Aniplex US and see if I can talk to Albert. Last time I called them, I kind of scared them.
Yeah. We try AirPilot. Siri, remind and it's a joke. Though if you're listening with speakers on, I may have just activated some people's Siri. Alexa, set a timer for 6 months. Okay. But yeah. Well, in case you guys forgot, Lucky called on Mike to ask how many people are actually employed, and they were like, we don't give that information. Bye. Which is fair. That's totally legit. That's kind of a weird thing to call out of the blue.
I wasn't even mad. Just the girl who I called sounded very confused.
They're probably not used to fielding those kinds of calls.
I know.
Hey, Aniplex, we're trying to be a legit fucking outlet here, so I know I swore when I said that, but listen, if you want to answer questions, we'll ask them, and we won't ask the questions you're not allowed to answer, because I know that's a pretty common thing with interviews. There's some stuff you can't touch on. Yep. I think Game Press had that actually, because they talked to good old Salt River about FGO global stuff, and they were indicated that there were certain questions that he was not able to answer or should not be asked, and that they had to pick their questions carefully. But overall, I think it was a positive interview. But yeah, let's see. Did I mention we're getting 30 silver apples? I think we did. It's a lot of fucking apples.
Did,
that's
but
pretty
hey,
good.
we're getting 30 silver apples, so motherfucking booyah.
Yeah. On top of the 230 gold apples I still have.
I have like 240. Not 200. I have like 140 something.
I should probably spend more apples to grind, but I don't really feel like it.
I should. I'm trying to. I'm at the Quickening Mountain. Wait. Oh, I just got the Blood Fort left to do in hecking Babylonia. The thing with the giant axe in it. Got Merlin.
Yeah, everybody's talking about their apples now.
Sure, you can have 50 of my apples. Give me 25 quartz.
Rip. Okay, so so we're like 50 minutes in on just the panel, as predicted.
Oh yeah,
lots of talk.
That was a good talk. So again, official Studio Mega reactions. Panel, that was some good civ, yo. Community, we are disappointed.
Yeah, basically as usual. And we should say that we're not disappointed in our community. Most of our community was in our Discord commiserating about the fact that they were again, we're not here to start drama, but anecdotal evidence, there were a lot of people in our chat who were like, God, I don't want to listen to Shotgun Shogun anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, the man has his viewers, and we have ours, so it's a free market. People can choose.
Mm-hmm. Someone, if Shotgun Shogun does start talking shit about us, let us know, because I want to hear that.
Yeah, and also people are talking about Reddit. There's a reason we don't post on Reddit anymore. The subreddit's great for news, not great for much else. We got our initial viewer base out of there, and then we have our own now. We still get plenty of subs off just YouTube searches. Hey, guess what? Most of our videos get inferenced when people search Fate Grand Order.
I don't go browsing around communities again. So like the Discord is if you want to talk to me easily, just yell at me at Discord. I'll be like, what? Who has summoned me? And I will chat. I'm not shy about chatting, but I don't go out of my way to go into Reddit or Facebook, Twitter, anything else. Honestly, if I ever need some information, I don't know it myself, I would literally just go yell into the Discord, hey, who knows this? And someone will do the searching for me.
I'm not going to reiterate what that was, but Dallas, holy shit, harsh. I'm not gonna reiterate that one. YouTube might not like that comparison.
Dallas, he enjoys being the troll.
He had some pretty intense shade to cast, but like I said, I don't think I want to repeat that on mic.
Probably
because that might be a little too spicy for YouTube. They're a little sensitive about that sort of thing. But yeah, so we're gonna completely shift gears. All of you can leave now. I'm kidding. But we're gonna do Teach Me Omega Sensei. So I'm gonna get super expository on you. I'm gonna put on my exposition glasses, prop them up. I don't have any glasses handy, otherwise I might do some Foley. But I did an invisible gesture.
I got some weird black glasses. They're like sunglasses. They look like sunglasses a villain would wear. I'll put them on.
Of course.
Now I can't see shit.
I
wear my sunglasses. I mean, it's only 4 p.m., but whatever.
Hey, it's 7-11 here. Holy shit, it's 7-11, 4:20. That's a little weird. Anyway, today, as voted by our patrons, anybody who is a $5 nut patron can vote in this poll. We're going to talk about what is quantum time lock, because apparently it's a big deal or something. And so, Lucky will be quiet and read manga now, or play FGO or whatever.
I'm gonna try to take a selfie with these fucking sunglasses.
Sick. So I'm gonna run down what quantum time lock is. So the quantum time lock, which literally the Japanese translation is something like Spiritron record anchoring bands, because God forbid Japanese is
like real talk. I just want to put this out here before we get too far in this. When I suggested this, I didn't think it was gonna be a big fucking topic, but Omega has literally written like a page and a half on this, and I'm just like, what the fuck? There's a lot.
Yeah, this is like a full page and a half. There's a lot of shit to do. This is compressed too, by the way. I know. Also, that's another thing I should point out. Some people were throwing shade when Albert gave the CCC translation. That's actually a bullet point we missed that we should go back to. I forgot. He confirmed that Aniplex US doesn't have the rights to localize CCC. Otherwise, he'd be all for it. But he's like, no, we don't have those rights. We can't do that. Don't talk to me about that. That's not my department, basically. He said that, so if you want more source, there's always YouTube or the Type Moon Wiki. And some people tried to throw a lot of shade at him for that, but, like, that's not his problem.
Like, what can you fucking do?
Talk to fucking Type Moon, then. Tell them to port a fucking PSP game. That's the real sad thing about CCC. Like, there's a market for it, but at the same time, there's some initial investment there. We've talked a lot about on What's Up in recent weeks about how making video games is complex. That's a little rough. That, like, it's not even on Vita. I don't think it's like maybe there was a re-release on Vita, but like it's on PSP. That's a double dead system. Vita's already dead. Like PSP is like double dead. So once again, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, that'd be great if they could make a PC port, but somebody has to actually do work on that.
Check out those villain glasses.
Yeah.
I gave the creepiest smile I could.
That's also a solid, this is not my job gif. I'm gonna favorite that.
People are commenting, I shave, regularly, but, like, occasionally I like to, switch it up. People are like, a face reveal. I, like, am not actually, like, against showing my face. I just usually don't have a reason to.
No, I think we've joked about that, but I think there's a couple of videos on the channel where I like turn my face around so you can see my face. I don't like to show my face because also talking about facial hair, I probably should shave more, so I'm like permanently perma-stubble. So yeah, that's me. I have long sideburns though. Though my hair all around is a little short because I've recently shaved and had a haircut. Anyway, so yeah, so some people were throwing shade at Albert for, like, using Type Moon Wiki as a source, but, like, what the fuck else can you do? Also, I know he didn't name them by name, but I am dead certain he knew who he was referring to. He was referring to that one playthrough, that's ZVN, I think, who did a whole full playthrough of CCC on the Gil route on their YouTube channel recently, with the translation patch, which isn't official. So, I doubt he could shout out to them directly, but hey, he tried. Like, he is doing what is within the purviews of his power. But yeah, so, I was talking about I condensed this a lot from Creator Notes, because there's a lot of sources on this. Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
So, Quantum Time Lock, literally Spiritron record anchoring bands, is a phenomena which culls adjacent worlds, aka timelines, and locks in an overall static course of history. In the mage community, this phenomena is referred to as Foundation of Human Order. And Fate Extella implies that it is a function of the world, with capitals. So, Quantum Time Lock exists in FGO 2, it's just that they call it the Foundations of the Rationality of Man. Probably because it's from the perspective of Chaldea looking at the past history, rather than Archimedes' plan to lock in the future. But basically, the two phenomena are synonymous, it's just, like I said, for some reason they have slightly different definitions. Maybe slightly different script revisions in Extella versus FGO. I know they were originally supposed to come out at the same time, but didn't, so I'm pretty sure they're supposed to match up. It's just, like I said, maybe the scripts didn't line up. So basically, as explained by helpful diagrams in Extella, the universe, aka the concept of everything, it allows for multiple worlds or timelines, and all theoretical possibilities to exist. This takes the shape of the great tree known as time, because, God forbid, we have to throw an extra fucking word in there. By the way, I'm totally editorializing this. Like, I had to write these notes. I'm not going to be sassy about them. Much more simply, the time tree, or the tree of time. This would branch infinitely normally. However, that takes up a lot of fucking energy. We'll come back to this later. But the process of quantum time lock is known as conservation of phenomena, which actually makes sense and sounds like a theory. The world basically audits the tree to conserve energy and removes any timelines which are not characterized by strength or stability. Its words, not mine. So this culling process targets worlds which lack those above qualities. If a timeline advances too far into positive or negative outcomes, there is less room for variance and growth, and the timeline basically dead ends, which is why they are culled during a quantum time lock. So basically, if you branch out too far and you would use up too much energy, you're cut. This leaves the trunk of the tree, which contains all worlds which are average and tend to have lots of similar events in them, and largely resemble each other. This forms the foundation. Otherwise, there is not enough energy in this universe to infinitely propagate the timeline. That's a really interesting notation. I think that in Extella, I don't know if I wrote that down, but in Extella it notes that if the world allowed the time tree to branch unmodified continuously, it would use up all the energy in our solar system in about 100 years. By the way, this is based in legit actual theories of physics, if you've ever heard of the limit of questions or the limit of information. This is a legit concern that scientists have, that there is a theoretically finite amount of energy and information in the universe, and we might be using it all up. So, hey, existential thoughts. Take a big gulp of water while you guys deal with that zinger.
Mm-hmm.
So the Moon Cell here notes that the human's universe of awareness is inherently unstable, and thus the culling and recording process is needed to stabilize what is actually past, present, and future. If human unconsciousness just did all that stuff, we would not know what is actually true, because we'd be confused about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so the actual process of the quantum time lock is called observation. This is the event or series of events which determines what outcomes are locked in and thus form the continuing part of the trunk. There's a lot of really good graphics for this, which are in Extella. So only those who exist in the present when the quantum time lock occurs is formed affect what is recorded by the event. Past or future influencers are not supposed to be able to do so directly. So, if you want to fuck up a quantum time lock, you have to be in that moment. Technically, the wiki phrased this as those who are alive, but Archimedes is a heroic spirit, so I edited that to say those who exist in that time span. Because he's a fucking heroic spirit, guys. And unless you're doing some really convoluted declension that, like, no, it's because Altera is still alive as a Titan, and also Hakuto's alive and stuff. They matter. They're the only ones that matter. Never mind all those other actors who are actively influencing events. But anyway,
whatever.
Because I think if it was just Hakuno versus Safar, we would lose in terms of influence. But whatever, dude. So quantum time lock takes place at regular intervals. See below for that note. We'll come back to that. And events recorded by the phenomena of quantum time lock are considered immutable and cannot be changed. If one moves to before a quantum time lock to alter history, history is forcibly changed back. Individuals may be saved, but time will correct itself. Once an event series is locked in, you can't go back before the lock and switch it up. Of course, we know from FGO, though the seeds are obviously planted in Extella, funny how that works, that if you have enough energy to expend, you could cause what is called a revocation of the quantum time lock and deny the history of man that is written, but this would only alter the timeline from the denied quantum time lock on. So this is important. This is why Gatia had to do this 7 times. He had to, first of all, be physically present, or have his agents be physically present in all of the events before they happened except for Babylonia. And he had to use holy grails to distort the timeline in order to break multiple quantum time locks to completely dismantle human order. Because otherwise, everything would be self-correcting. You can't just fuck up and down the time stream. You have to expend a lot of energy to do it. It's a big deal. So, speaking of that, happens regularly. Extella says that the quantum time lock occurs every 100 years, but also the story says that a quantum time lock occurs immediately before the game starts, and also after the true root ends, so it's confusing. Personal theory. This is me theory crafting. So don't anybody say that, oh my god, you're wrong. This is just me coming up with an idea. Periods of history that have many branches which occur rapidly may require more frequent culling as they use more energy. Just a thought. If you have a lot of potentials occurring in rapid sequence, which causes a lot of timeline branching, the universe may need to QTL more rapidly, otherwise you use up all that fucking energy. So the Great Tree of Time is subject to a couple different terms and mechanics. The trunk is also considered the primary branch. It represents the cluster of worlds with average timelines. The world average is used a lot. This is where nothing too positive or too negative occurs. They all exist along the same proper axis and follow roughly the same course of history. So basically, only worlds with similar timelines that are close enough together in the average zone, in the trunk, the primary branch, get to exist willy-nilly, and they all roughly resemble each other. They average out. A good way to look at this is to think about Fate's Day Night. While lots of different little individual events occur, and even lots of little different bad ends that occur, the ultimate result of the actual timelines that continue is that the Holy Grail War ends, in a sense. So, we know it starts and we know it ends, but the details are kind of fuzzy in between, depending on what version of the timeline you're in. And then Hollow Ataraxia gets around that because Rin does something dumb and collapses the time waves.
Well, basically, you can just say she took the 3 branches and then forcibly combined them.
Yeah. So within these worlds that are in the primary branch, there is something which is called editable phenomena. This, by the way, is the most plain-spoken version of the terminology I found. So I chose to use it other than the other more long-winded ones. I don't know if these are long-winded in Japanese, because I assume that most of these words are only like 1 or 2 characters long, but still, it's very verbose. Nasu, get a fucking editor.
I don't think editors can contain Nasu. They're like Raita.
So the editable phenomena are situations where the outcome cannot be changed due to quantum time lock, but the process in which the results in this outcome can. So you could only alter the circumstances, but not the conclusion with time travel. So basically, let's use Fate's Day Night as an example. Quantum time lock occurs. Everything is locked the fuck in. Emi Ishiro lives till the end of quantum time lock, thus completely screwing over future Emiya. Poor boy. He didn't realize it, but retcons would completely fuck over his plans. Though actually, if we talk about it, we'll talk about this a little later, but since this is a function of the world, theoretically, if he was going to time paradox himself, the world could have just choose to snip him out of the timeline. So maybe it would have worked, but maybe it wouldn't. Depends on how important Emi Ishiro is. But the result is that he lives, right? This means if you go back in time, you can't kill him. It's not possible. History will correct itself so that he lives. But you could choose how he lives. For instance, you could, ship him out of the country. You could throw him on a boat and send him to America for a high school trip, and he would not be present, but he would live. And so on and so forth. You could, give him lots of future knowledge so he doesn't fuck anything up, etc., etc.
Actually, considering he eventually makes a contract with the world to become a counter agent, goes around just saving the servants of the world. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the world has a vested interest in probably keeping him alive.
Yeah, Emi's personal timeline's very wibbly-wobbly, to use a term that showed up in chat. But yes, there are some lock-ins. And hey, that means that events where he dies are dead-end timelines. Which they are in-game. If you die ahead of time, you lose, and you have to go back in time. So it makes sense. That was a pretty good analogy. Another thing is, another theoretical example. We do this in, Zero Order. We go back in time, and Waver moves some shit around. No matter what he does, the results will be the same. Nothing Kenneth does after the Holy Grail War can matter, because the correct version of history is he dies. Thus, either he's gonna die of something else, or he just won't matter. But if the outcome is the same, you can still move him out of the area beforehand. In a present before the quantum time lock occurs, this is basically all timelines until they're locked in. This is what Archimedes' plan is. He keeps sliding from timeline to timeline, trying to find one where he can change the circumstances to lock in a specific outcome. He fails, of course, assuming you didn't lose and die. So, next up is something that's called the phenomena for removal. These are branches which exist far enough away from the primary axis they can no longer be said to be similar to the primary branch, and thus are marked for culling. Once they've developed to the point where they will be definitively removed, human order no longer applies to them, and normal defensive measures of the world do not apply. This is key to Moriarty's plan in Shinjuku. But basically, once you're in a dead-end timeline, the world doesn't care anymore. It's gonna fucking prune your ass. So, those timelines probably get a little freaky. This may explain why certain events in future possible singularities occur, or other things where, like, it feels like, oh gee, the counterforce should really be doing something here, but it doesn't because the timelines are weird. It's like, no, this is a dead end anyway, I'm out. I'm outie. By the way, another name for this phenomena is Otherworld, literally isekai. So I just threw that in that detail because people might find that funny in context of current modern genres. But yeah, that's what they referred to. So, the world has some criteria for picking who to cull. If no new possibilities exist in this timeline, its inhabitants can no longer change the future. So, hey, BT dubs, this means that Lost Belt 3 is a dead-end timeline. Who knew? Actually, literally all the Lost Belts are dead-end timelines. They would be corrected by human order, but are preserved through weird stuff. But basically, if the people living in a timeline cannot change its outcome or influence its possibilities, it's done. It's out. If it reaches ruin or utopia in such a way that it removes all possible adjacent timelines, thus it's an immutable outcome. If a world fails to meet any criteria, which will indicate it will exist up to the next quantum time lock, so basically, the world gives your timeline a hairy eyeball and says, oh, this timeline's not going to last another 100 years. Let's not waste that energy. Snip. And if the past of a timeline leading up to these events cannot be changed. So, we know that, for instance, we talked about, Emiya as a counter guardian earlier. We know that sometimes the world fixes shit so that bad stuff doesn't happen. Well, hey, guess what? If it can't fix shit, that means the timeline is doomed. It gets culled. There's a lot of interesting ideas here, and I think you're going to see a lot of these come back when we talk about the Lost Belts, because like we said, the Lost Belts are all this phenomena. They're timelines that should have eaten themselves and died. They have hit ruin or utopia. They are stagnant. There are no other possibilities which can emerge from them. They are immutable. There is nothing that can be done to change them. Thus, in their own ways, they're all kind of shitty. So, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. And basically, my final bullet point is if you want to understand quantum time lock better, literally just play Extella. There are several long cutscenes about the quantum time lock phenomena which explain all this with graphics. It's actually kind of a big deal. The only thing that was shocking was that this is such a big deal, that this is actually a really big deal to Nasuverse in general, because it reaffirms that, yes, all possibilities exist and all timelines can occur, but they're still limited. The universe will trim down some of those excess timelines. It also explains why Gatia had to go to such fucking lengths, because in order to completely unfuck the history of the human order, he has to break it apart many, many times over. Which is funny, because he literally does this just to get energy. He expends so much energy to get even more energy. It's funny. It's almost like he had a crazy plan. But yeah, so basically this explains kind of like how singularities work, is they're a situation which is you actually set up where you're trying to revoke the timeline. And so you gotta fix it. Most of these are not, like, most mini singularities you occur to don't actually threaten the human order. They just might threaten a specific timeline or something. They, worry about, possibilities that may emerge from them, but they're not ultimately gonna fuck over the human order. They're just stuff going on that's, like, really annoying. Like Zero Order is an example. That's a holy grail that's emerged that can cause some shit going on. Dallas is talking about Tsukihime stuff. By the way, when I refer to the world, we should point out the world is weird in Fate.
This is capital W world, yo.
Well, yeah, but technically that term can be used to refer to two things. One is the concept of the planet Earth, or Alaya, the human collective unconsciousness thing. Gaia, that's right. Alaya and Gaia. So, when we're speaking about this in Fate terms, we are almost assuredly talking about Alaya, because it's Fate. The fact that there is a definitive split between Gaia and Alaya is why Tsukihime and Fate are incompatible. And And quite frankly, I'd really love to talk to Nasu. I'd love to talk to Nasu in general. I don't know if I want to talk about this because he'd probably blow my fucking mind. But considering all this stuff about the archetype Earth and the branch, how the fuck does this work with Tsukihime? Because is the collective weight of human history a big enough deal to make it so that technically both Fate and Tsukihime are in the average cluster of worlds, but they're so different. Their mechanics are so different. How does this work? Nasu will probably explain this if we ever get the Tsukihime remake. But yeah, it's just funny because Fate has been around so long, right? And it has been so iterated. There are so many forks of this franchise. There's like so many explanations for Fate stuff. But then you go back to Tsukihime and it's like, okay, so there's a slight explanation to why the two universes are different, but nobody's elaborated on Tsukihime in fucking years. This, by the way, is the reason why I say, don't ask me to explain anything out of Tsukihime or notes or anything like that unless it comes up in FGO or some other Fate work, because I can't even, dudes. I can't even. Now we're posting about Sailor Moon in chat. But yeah, Dallas is trying to explain to everyone in our Discord channel right now what the fuck is going on with the ultimate ones and notes type shit and types. And it's like, yeah, no, it's a doozy. But that about sums it up. Yeah, so basically just if you want a clear explanation, Archimedes info dumps all this stuff on you. It's just I also went into the Type Moon wiki and I connected the dots to like, so here's what FGO means when they're talking about this stuff. And once again, I reiterate, golly gee willikers, it's almost like somebody was writing Extella and FGO at the same time and wanted them to match up.
You know, I was just, oh man. No, I've just been thinking about this, because I was just remembering, like, you were talking about, what was it? Shoot. Was it the, edible phenomenon? Oh, situations where the actual outcome can't be changed to quantum time lock?
Yeah.
And, basically how when Caster Gil and Gilgamesh is like, no, all these people are gonna die, and they're gonna stay dead.
Right.
It's like, you can't change that fate.
Yeah, and he's saying basically the only way to do something different would be to revoke the timeline, which would mean you'd lose.
Yeah. Because at the end, everyone still dies. It's just some people stayed alive a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. But you know, defied his expectations. It was all like, behold!
And you could argue that advanced clairvoyance to the future is basically just reading future timelines and how they will result, right? Like, that's just, you're checking the future for, is there going to be a quantum time lock here?
And
now, obviously, this is a little weird talking about, like, predestination versus choice. There are a lot of incidents where technically the quantum time lock hasn't occurred, so you could still lock events in, but we also know some people can see the future, so
well, I mean,
I don't know, does that mean that if you just peer too far
ways
ahead, you get into positions where you're like, I'm not sure where the quantum time lock's going to happen?
Alright, what's the time, Omega?
We're at an hour and 17 minutes.
We did good for only 2 topics.
Yeah. Well, they were both doozies. They're big. Hopefully this will be a big, beefy episode people watch. We finally got some traction on our last episode about the CCC pregame, which is super relevant because, hey, we would have had to do that this week if we didn't do it last week. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in some details about the actual CCC event and the stuff you're going to have to do to get that BB, check out last week's episode if you haven't already. Lots of people did. Yeah. And, yeah. So, now we're actually down to only two subjects in Teach Me Omega Sensei to cover. So, we're always open to more suggestions. Anybody can suggest a topic, just only certain patrons can vote on it. So, our 2 topics left is, what is the Mages Association? Because that's constantly coming up and might be a big deal. And what do we actually know about Grand Servants? Not, I should point out, what are Grand Servants? What do we know about them? Because, once again, this is one of those things that, like, hey, spoilers for FGO from here on. As far as I know, this hasn't been touched on again since Part 1 ended, so big rip. I'm sure they'll get back there eventually. Well, I mean, that's Tosaka, Dallas. That's the Emiya joke about Rin talking to the world as a Sele tablet. Yeah, I know, you're trying to josh him. That's because nobody fucking played. Is that Capsule? Is that Capsule or Mahjong? I think it's Capsule. FGO makes a lot of fucking jokes, okay, guys? But no, Dallas, like, if you look at this image, the world is clearly labeled as a Sele tablet. That's the tablet. Have you never watched Evangelion? Duh. Brr.
Now I think Dallas is trying to josh you.
Anyway. Listen, I know all about the Tosaka, in all caps.
Don't lie, you know you want a Tosaka servant.
FGO Ava collab confirmed. Ooh. 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 Axe, to answer your question, I'm gonna grill Ishtar to 100, and I'm gonna grill Areshkigal to 100, so,
By the way, let me, copy-paste, motherfucking, Tosaka here. Y'all want her as a fucking servant, don't lie.
There is an art direction, yes. Which is hilarious but good. I don't know who drew this, because it doesn't look quite like Takeuchi's style.
No, but it's still, kind of fucking amazing.
Oh, that's a great one, Omega Alter. It's Bayonetta Rin. It really is, though.
It really is. Now that I think about it. Heck.
It's because she's got the fucking super long heels and, like, at least the way she's proportionally drawn, she seems kind of, like, tall and lanky, which is interesting for Rin. But she's got the glasses and kind of got the weird hairstyle. Though her twin tails are now twin mega drills, which is great. Anyway, yeah, everybody look that up if you haven't already. I feel like, I wonder if I've used that for a thumbnail before. Anyway. Oh, wait, shit, people are adding reactions. I gotta add a reaction to this. Alright. So those are our last two subjects on Teach Me Omega Sensei. People, feel free to give us more suggestions so we can run more polls and do more topics. Other than that, I think it's time to wind down the episode because it's almost 8 o'clock now here, and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so, I gotta go record this episode, because I think that if I want to have the Wanted be on time, I have to record Wanted Melt tomorrow, and we gotta do a special Easter Sunday episode of What's Up, which won't be special at all. It'll be a normal episode of What's Up, but it'll be called Easter Sunday.
Huh.
But I'm glad all of you, many, many people, some people did appear to have dropped off after we went to Teach Omega Sensei, but a lot of you stayed. Thanks for that. And we just to chill a little bit, we do this every week for our gold patrons and up, so if you want to join us for that, you can hang out in patron chat, which most people can't even see, and talk to us secretly about stuff, and get your comments on the episode. So that's about everything. Lucky, do you have any final thoughts on the episode?
No, not really, no. I didn't actually read manga, I actually listened to you. Are you happy?
I am happy. At least one person listened.
Yeah!
Incoming spam of shitloads of people saying, we're listening. And like I said, thanks to everybody who showed up live. Hey, join our Discord and follow us on Twitter if you want more of these live show notifications. I don't know if right away, because we're pretty close, we'll do a live episode of Let's Talk FGO when we hit 1,800 subs again, because this is kind of like just doing that anyway, for the sake of it. We'll definitely do a What's Up, though, so keep that in mind. And next week, we will totes be talking about the CCC event, because it's going to happen in the middle of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be talking about the script, which I'm sure will be something, and we'll be talking about the BB. Lucky, how is it looking on you being able to stream your roles?
At the moment, it looks like as that. I got my computer. As long as it's not running any hard, intense games, I should be able to, at the minimum, record it and post it. I don't know if I'll be able to stream it.
All right.
So
maybe we'll do some testing on like Monday or Tuesday before that happens to see if it'll work, if it explodes. But yes, Lucky is aiming to at least maybe try and record his CCC pulls. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately am not in a position where I can really. I don't have space on my phone, and my new phone's not super powerful enough to run a lot of recording and streaming at the same time. So I'm also only going to give it like 12
I definitely
tickets.
know I could record on my phone, and I can like export that at all, but you wouldn't be able to hear my commentary. So like, there's a couple of options I can do, but I'm trying to get it so that I record my voice and the video at the same time. Otherwise, it's going to be me recording on my phone while I talk into a microphone, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and do some of that, and so we'll talk about it on the episode too. There'll be some stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna throw some tickets. I got a few tickets saved up, but even with all this spare quartz, I cannot afford any extras. I gotta wait. Someday soon, they're gonna announce that summer is being rerun, and I'm gonna have my other shot, and I'm going to cry a lot.
With the month, I feel like I'm going to be crying for some reason. There'll be tears.
I'm going to call my shot. This time, Lucky's going to get it. First 10 spin.
I want, as I said, I tell everyone, I'm going for Passion, Melt, and Kiara. I'm going for all three. I'm going for the trifecta here.
Yeah. Everybody's just talking about how they're crying about their future pulls. I am exactly reminded of that energy when Albert asked how everybody's gacha luck is, and everybody's just like,
yes, give me all the alter egos.
So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about our thoughts, our roles, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, almost assuredly, if you're listening to this both live and in public in the future, hopefully this all gets posted around in a timely manner. You never know with rendering. There'll be a wanted video soon, hopefully, so look forward to that. And yes, I don't know, I'll have to double check with people when the Kiara banner would normally start, but there'll be probably like a week-long gap before that goes, but we'll do that sometime too. So, next week we'll be talking about CCC stuff, and also I think whatever Japan will be done with Guda Guda 3 rerun then, right? They got 5 days left on the rerun, so...
Yeah, no, again,
it should have just ended by the time we record next.
Hopefully we'll get the news. Well, they'll drop what they're doing next. I'm super excited. Even though I'll hiss at any spoilers, I still like seeing what they're doing next. It's that taste, that preview gets me hype.
All right, so so I'll go ahead and say to everyone listening on the YouTubes, if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments about anything, leave those in the comment section down below. Though, don't get too spicy with us, because I do edit the comments. Not often, but, if you're just going to be talking shit for no reason, I'll snip you out. I leave most comments in, though. Just because you're free to express your opinion. Just don't necessarily expect me to be happy about it. And of course, like we said, hey, look for our Discord link that is in the description. You can join us on Discord, you can chat us up anytime, you can get lots of helpful people who will give you friend codes or link you to guides and stuff. And you can enjoy lots of stimulating conversation. And of course, if you're new and have not already, please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get those numbers up there, and it helps you keep track of all our latest releases. Even if you're already subscribed, consider hitting that bell for notifications, so you always know when we post a new video. Because, hey, like we said, rendering is weird, and sometimes it takes a while. So, be there right away, whether YouTube tells you or not. And of course, as it said at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to this episode early in audio format for as little as $1 a month. Hopefully that's not too much of an asking price. But that is almost always earlier than the video version. Even for patrons, it's earlier than the video version because it happens right away. And you can download and all that other stuff. And it includes our complete backlog, by the way. All that stuff's archived on Patreon. And like we said, it really helps us out. It helps us pay for stuff like send Lucky to Sakuracon so he can ask professional journalism questions. So, keep that in mind. And that's about everything. So the show's done for this week. Looks like the runtime's going to be probably after editing, not at, but close to an hour and a half. We did good. I think we shouted out that Voice was doing his panel earlier, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I wonder if he recorded it this time.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see if he posts anything. I know he was out and about at Anime Boston, so good for him.
Actually, I know Voice said he's still playing North America. Do you think he's going to be excited to talk about the North American events because he just did the fucking JP version of
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing to ask.
Because normally I would say let's see if we can get him on for reactions, but he might not be.
Well,
really
I mean, I don't think
it.
he can read Japanese super well. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe he'll play it for the script. So maybe we can talk about story stuff with him.
Yeah, we'll bug him. We'll sit.
We know about that story, but we won't bug him this weekend because obviously he's busy. But yeah. Well, we'll see. We're trying to schedule him in because it's been a long time, and there's a lot of stuff that happened we'd like to talk to him about.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the show, everybody. Join us next week for more Let's Talk FGO. Join us soon for more What's Up. And like I said, keep an eye on the channel for all your favorite other videos we do, like Wanted, and lots of other stuff that Omega does that people don't always watch, but he puts a lot of time and effort in, and would really love it if you watch them.
Lucky will continue going playing Kona Exiles and getting pissed off how much his buildings keep falling apart. I'm out.